It gets easier.
I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys. I'm struggling a little bit with this bike build. This bike build is never going to be an easy one. Let's face the facts, it's a completely ridiculous thing I've got myself into. It's one of these things that I've never built a bike in my life and I'm starting to struggle. Hence why the videos have been a little bit slower and quieter. As you saw in the last video, we fitted the chain and did some other little bits and bobs like that, like bleeding the brake. The brake's fine, it works perfectly. The chain, on the other hand, I'm having some proper issues with the alignment of the chain, and it's not going to be an easy fix, so hence why I've gone a bit quiet. I've also got to admit, the electrics. You saw in one of the previous videos I took it away to have someone look at it all and make something for me. That all kind of fell through, and I've got the wiring back, and I don't know what to do with myself, so I've kind of been a bit, what do I do? So I'm just going to be really honest with you about it all. I've hit a roadblock. I'm trying to work out what the next thing I need to do is, how I'm going to sort this chain, how I'm going to sort the wiring. But once I've got over these, we're going to be flying through, and it's so close to actually getting the bike started, able to run and ride. As you just saw at the start of the video, I've actually got myself a paddock stand for the bike now, because I was really struggling with how to, like, getting the bike, working on the bike, working on the wheels, taking the wheels off. So I thought, get myself a paddock stand, front and back, job's a good one. It works really well. So basically, with this video, I'm just going to explain what's going on, where we are with things, what the plan is. I'm going to try and work out how to solve this chain alignment issue. So yeah, I'm just going to work out what I need to do. We're going to take a look at the sprocket, see where we need to go with it, what I need to do to get the alignment correct. I'm pretty sure it's not far out. I'll show you what the problem is. So the chain, it looks good. Bit on the strong side on the tension, but I've just done that for now, just to kind of like work out what it is, what's going on. What I've realised is, don't know if you can hear that. The actual chain itself, I think when it engages on the chain, it's actually rubbing on the inside, and that's what's making it vibrate. It's just one of these issues. I'm kind of like not sure. So as you can see, it's just not right. What I think I need to do is sort out the spacers on the back, because this is quite tight. When you tighten up this ring arm, there's quite a bit, it springs out. I think I just need to get the spacer over. What I've done so far is replace the actual sprocket, and that made no difference whatsoever, because the old one was really damn worn. Very, very worn sprocket, and I thought if I can change that, that might help. So what I'm going to do is loosen off the back wheel, see if there's any way I can move the wheel over slightly, because there's no way I'm going to be able to space this out with the way it's actually mounted. It's the rear that needs to kind of go inwards a bit, which if it was going out, I could space it out, which is the easy option, but because it needs to be further in, this is where the problem is. So let's have a look, see what we can do, and just crack on with it. from this point of view, if you look just here, if you look through the holes, you can see it's basically like a stop for this bracket here, and it's it was a lot longer and I did have to grind it down, but by the looks of it, if I get the chain set in lined up, it's actually very, very close. That close is actually touching the inside of the disc by the looks of it. So it looks like I'm going to be having to take the wheel off, the spindle, this bracket, grind that down a bit flatter, make a space for the wheel to bring it over this way. Yeah, that's what I've got to be doing. That's what I've got to do. Because that there is a little nub on the actual swing arm itself. But to be fair, if I do that, I should have a better chance of getting the chain seated better. The next option is then I do something with the cush drive and the actual face the sprocket goes onto, maybe shave that down like a couple of mil on a lathe. Let's just see what we can do. So I've actually ground that down to enough to what I think should be alright. I have also looked at the sprocket and taken the sprocket off and actually swung it round just in case it was like worn on the one side more than the other. It's just I'm just trialing and erroring now at the moment. I'm going to try and put it all back together and see what kind of like spacer size I need, and then we can go about actually getting a custom spacer made, having it machined and all that. So as long as I know we're in the right direction, that's all I care about. So let's get this wheel back on, shall we? I don't think we're any closer. I just don't feel like I'm getting any closer, and it's still doing it, still vibrating, still making the horrible noise because I know it's not lined up. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Any suggestions, leave them down in the comments. I don't think I'm going to get it finished this episode, so I'm just going to, at least I'm being honest with you, it's not all plain sailing. I am struggling. I've never done anything like this before. I'm figuring it out as I go along, so like, I'm only human, I'm going to have issues, I'm going to have problems, there's things I'm not going to be able to do myself. Any comments, what you reckon I should do, leave it down below and I'll read all of them. But as I say, the issue is this sprocket is far too far this side and it needs to go that way just a tad. You can see it like here, it's just catching on the inner lip. So what I'm probably going to do now is call this episode quits. You've got an update, you know where I'm going with it. Next week I'm actually taking the bike to a friend of mine who's we're going to actually look at the electrics together, so there is that. Brought a new loom as well, so hopefully we can work off the new loom. Got the wiring diagram, we can figure it all out. One like, one prayer, let's just get this bike somewhere in the next episode or two. So as always, subscribe to the channel if you're new, leave a thumbs up because that massively helps, and I shall see you in the next video. Peace.